Hi, welcome to Board Game Guy News. I'm your host, Vish.
And that went well.
On sports, Andrew. On classifieds, Tristan Murphy. Rob on business. Justin on weather.
It gon' rain!
With Rob. Alright guys, welcome to Board Game Guys. So today we got a special episode for you guys in commemoration of the nominees for the 2013 Origin Awards being announced. Woo! We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about our problems with the board game universe.
Fish.
There's disturbance in the force.
Number one.
Number one problem, Vish.
I am one of them.
You are the one.
So, there are multiple categories in the Origin Awards. Basically, what they are is the plethora of gaming at the Origins convention. And basically, what they entail are different categories. So, they have miniatures, role-playing games, CCGs, TCGs, deck-building games, board games, and such. We've taken five categories. Not LCGs. They are actually under the traditional card game.
Well, they're not here, so they fail.
That's because they're not that.
Just because LCGs didn't get nominated this year, Andrew, doesn't mean that they're not part of it.
People don't know.
Okay, people don't know.
People don't get it, right?
Okay, so we've taken 5 of these categories that best suit the areas of interest of our guests, and our board game guys, and we're going to discuss them, and then we're going to talk about just things in general. So we've got Tristan Murphy from Teddy and Me here to put his 2 cents in. Hopefully, 2 cents.
Well, actually, because we're Canadian, it's 5 cents.
I was actually going to...
Because there's no more pennies.
Or 0 cents because it's 2 cents. So
That's a good point. So you got to round down.
So his 0 cents in.
Okay.
Right? Andrew here doodling as always.
Don't worry about me, bro.
Okay, so he just needs a second. Can you flip the cue card, please? Thank you. Okay. So first up, we're going to talk about the best board game nominees for the 2013 Origin Awards.
No, hold on. It's the Origins just focus on like board games itself. Is like
It's gaming in a general, so it's hobby and tabletop gaming and it's hobby games in general. So things that you would go into a hobby store and see is what are usually nominated. One thing my first issue with the Origin Awards is people don't actually recognize them a lot except for the actual universe itself.
Right.
But they do really talk about some great games that have come out, and it usually takes a game 2-3 years to get noticed. But they talk about the games from last year, from 2012, that really do come up, and people should look at the Origin Awards if they're looking for a game to play.
Actually, I think one of the games on here is from 2011 that's being recognized.
Lock and Key?
No, Kingdom Builder.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
at least on board games.
disregard everything I just said. Can you flip the cue card, please?
so it's like the Emmys
Okay.
or the Oscars. So it's like the Oscars of.
It's more like a Teen Choice Awards of gaming. Okay?
Okay. Well, in a
You
ranking.
got just screaming nerds.
No. In a
You got
ranking system, you have it's like
Flash
Teen
Dance.
Choice Awards is down here, and then you have the Grammys, and then like Oscars are like up here. I figured.
Okay, so I guess in the gaming universe, you can probably constitute them as
People's choice.
the People's Choice.
It sounds
Right?
good.
Or the MMVAs of the board game universe. You've got other things like Gamma. You got conventions that are more of like the Oscars and the Golden Globes, which they announce games that are going to set the pace for the year. For example, Gen Con last year, Netrunner, with the hype that it got, sold out in the first 3 minutes. And Netrunner's LCG, which you can see on LCG Guys.
But not on this page.
No, because
People are dumb.
they don't know how to
That was
recognize.
last year.
Right? That's something we'll get to in the second segment of the show, our problems with the recognition that they have with the Origin Awards and our issues in general. Because
Right
we all
after
know
this
Justin has
sponsor.
tons.
Yeah, because he's going to talk about him.
So,
Come into Teddy before your board game needs.
So our first category
is
gonna be
best board game of 2013. So I'm gonna get people. We each are familiar with these different games and such. We know about them. Well, some of us do.
Only a couple of them.
So Hot Rod Creeps by Cryptozoic was the first nominee. Rob, you have the best comparison to it. Explain it to us.
So far, just from the small research that I was actually able to do, because I haven't actually got to play the game. It looks like it plays like Mario Kart. You're building a track as you play the game. You're using weapons to knock your cars out. You're just pretty much trying to get to the finish line. It sounds like a card game version of Mario Kart.
Do they have a blue shell?
No.
That would be copyright
Can
infringement.
I put like 2 Koopa Troopas on the back and double dash it so I can switch out?
Like Mario Kart.
Hey, it's by Cryptozoic. They're known for stealing other games' ideas.
That's true.
So, like,
But
they've been
they
taking
wouldn't
the call
actually
before.
steal. They actually wouldn't steal.
Why don't you call it like the Blue Stopper?
The Boo Rock.
The blue
The
gun.
Blue Rock.
But that's
Take the Blue Rock and it goes to the person first and it blows them up. Wonder what that's like. It's on N64. Nobody cares.
But that's what
cares.
That's what the
That's
best comparison I saw
Resident
was.
But from what I saw is just like Rob said, the only thing I can take away from that is all of your resources are in your deck of cards, which is also like the gas that you have. So if you run out of cards, you run out of gas. And I guess you shut down because if you don't have gas,
Shut down.
You don't go.
you shut it down. Shut it down, Andrew. Right now, turn it back on.
That seems really
was
interesting
thinking
as like a
shut down.
game. Like you never think that a cart game, in that sense, like Mario Kart, would actually be a board game. Like you build the tracks, obviously.
Well,
right?
you build the track as you play, but
Yeah.
it's there has been like there was for a really long time there was a NASCAR card game and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like it's an old thing,
Then they invented the left.
but
turn,
it's kind of
Right turn.
the right turn, and they just had a bad time.
but it's
The game
it's-
died.
Yeah,
Oh damn! Left turns. Oh
like
my god!
I gotta admit, as an idea,
So
it's
many
like I can see why
Yeah.
it's on here because it sounds like an interesting idea, and if it's done properly,
Yeah.
like I imagine that's why it's on the list. But-
Probably for like the innovation of
Yeah.
the concept. I think the concept is what really got it on the panel.
Yeah, but as like none of us have been able to play it because like this is the first time I've heard of it.
Never
so,
played it. It's bad.
But
That is
Cryptozoic
very
didn't really
valid.
do much marketing towards it because it released in 2012, and I didn't
play
hear
good games.
much about it because, mind you, Cryptozoic was spending a lot of 2012 promoting their DC deck building game.
you're also gonna notice a lot of Cryptozoic on this list.
Yeah, Cryptozoic really is the haymaker on this list. They really did come forward in 2012, and they released a lot of games that were really successful.
I see it.
Like the top two games from what I can see,
There's
you have Cryptozoic, you have Wizards of the Coast, and then you have WizKids
Oh,
all
yeah,
on
right
the
there.
list like
I
multiple
missed
times.
Yeah. WizKids actually did really well, especially for somebody who is
uh,
known for releasing games like...
For upper decking,
You mean upper deck?
Yeah, for upper decking, yeah. They're known for that
What,
upper decking
WizKids?
thing. Yeah, but they only have like 3 people
No,
working.
WizKids is like since the purchase of NECA, they've done really well.
No, they've done really well with their creation, but their release times and the
everything-
production
the
value
release,
is
the
terrible.
release time, but no, the production value.
when
I
they
mean,
give you
production
like,
time. The production time.
the
Production
production
value is really
time.
a month
Value
and
has
not a
gone
date.
up. But
When it
anyways,
comes out 2
we should
months
probably
later.
move on to the next
Yeah.
one.
Kingdom Builder. We're gonna go back to Rob on Kingdom Builder.
I like how it's made
Okay,
by Queen
Kingdom
Games.
Builder
Queen Game
is
is actually pretty good.
from
No,
the
but
description
Queen
I've read. Once again, this is another game we haven't played, but I read this description and it sounds an awful lot like Coruscant. Like it.
Carcassonne?
Huh?
Carcassonne?
Yeah, Carcassonne. Is that how you say it?
You said Corazon.
I said Carcassonne. I
Actually, he said Coruscant.
It was something like that.
Croissant?
No,
I'm
the
hungry.
planet.
Hold on a second.
Star Wars planet, you know, city. Big city. Yeah,
Dropped it.
exactly.
This game. It plays an awful lot like this
You
game.
couldn't even
Yeah,
get
no,
the
you
base
grab the
edition?
expansion, you can grab the.
I don't
proper
care.
one.
Nobody cares.
Enemy cares.
I don't even know why this game is on the list. It's already been. It's already a game that's been like it. But this is just off the description. Once again, haven't played this game. Based off the description, sounds exactly the same. All you're doing against your opponents are laying down tiles and trying to build a kingdom. That's what you do in Coruscant.
Carcassonne.
Carcassonne, whatever you call it. That
Right.
game.
Basically, it's probably on there because it is another version that's based off of another game. We'll see multiple games who take the concept of older games that have been successful that are on this list because you know what? It works. The concept works. If you get a concept that works and you keep going with it, you're gonna have success and you're gonna get the Origin Awards. You can't help but do it if the game's successful, right? Next up is Lords of the Waterdeep. It's a Dungeons and Dragons board game.
It's a very expensive Dungeons and Dragons board.
Yes, it's like
most
$70 to $90 board games.
But
Though,
I
like
have
once you get to that
heard-
price point, they have to be good. Cause really, let's be real. Like, if you're gonna drop, like, there you go. That's what I'm doing, right?
I got money.
if you go home and it's not good, I'm like, you're gonna be pissed.
I want my money back.
I think the most expensive board game that I bought was Super Dungeon Explorer. And you gotta put those figures together.
You gotta put them together, you gotta glue them together, and
Exactly.
then
you gotta paint
them because everyone's like, you don't have to paint them. You're like, no, you're gonna paint them. Look at them.
And then when you're done, it's like, yes, I can play this game after I've spent 30 hours painting.
And then nobody
gluing.
wants to play it with you because they've already lost interest. Because when you bought the game, they're like, oh, let's play. And you're like, hold on, wait.
Wait, I will get there.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
For those of you who have seen the Marvel Legendary comparison of DC and my 5 days of sleeving, I bought Super Dungeon Explorer 2 months ago. I still haven't put together everything.
Haven't you only painted one figure?
I've painted 1 and primed 3, but I got the dragon together, and there's numerous articles online about how the dragon's the most difficult to put together. Guys, tip, just wiggle it a little bit, snap. There we go. It stays together.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I would hope so. Right? But Lords of the Waterdeep, it's a good game because it's expensive.
Should have been more.
That's why it's on. That's why it's on there. But yeah, I've only heard good things about it too. It plays out kind of like a D&D board game, essentially.
We kept selling out of it. So.
Yeah, we keep selling it. It's,
I didn't even know we had it. We had it?
Yes, we did.
Every time we get it, it's gone.
Yeah, we get it, and someone's like, D&D!
No, relax.
I wanted to get that game for a while.
See?
I will hold you a copy, because I work at Teddy and me. Oh, shameless advertising.
Shameless.
Justin, how's the weather?
Okay. It gonna rain!
Not your line. Justin, how's the weather? Okay.
Next.
Alright, next up, Mage Knight.
Bring back the miniatures game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
I haven't even
none of
got.
this board
I
game
have
nonsense.
this game. I've had this game for about 2 months now. I still haven't played it. It's freaking complicated.
And the minis game, Andrew, you were touching on.
It's like
Why?
It's kind of like HeroClix, but better.
It was the precursor.
Yeah.
Without Mage Knight, there would be no HeroClix, and it's like the HeroClix click game is bar none probably one of the best clicks games. They just kind of went somewhere different with it when they went with 2.0.
Come on, Wiz Kids, smarten stuff up.
But,
Release your stuff on time. Give us
but
release dates, not release months.
but the Mage Knight game by WizKids is like I've watched videos and like I've seen it. It looks really interesting. The figures are like actually really good, even though they look like most of them are just like copies from the actual miniature. It's a really interesting looking game. I still haven't played it yet because it's just too complicated to try to learn. I've been trying.
You should do it.
Then finally we have
Listen, I have Elder Sign that I've had for like 4 months, and I just took the packaging off.
You're just lazy.
I was there when he took the packaging off. He opened the box. He was like, I'm gonna play this game. We're all gonna play this game. We're gonna have a game night right now, Vish. He opened the box. He's like, oh my god, there's so much.
I looked at the rule book. I was like, this.
He's like, Vish, I've never read this much in my life. Did you read it yet? No, because I have never read this much in my life.
It's too much.
Mage Wars. So this is Rob's best war game review because he owns this game too.
I have 2 words for
Yes,
this
this
game.
is like
Mage
my
Wars?
review show,
Lightning Bolt.
which is actually in the game.
I don't know.
Okay, this is a good game. I can see why it's on the list. My issues with this game are many. First off, the point values on the character cards that you get are way too high. Like, it's like the concept is really good.
Okay,
you get
Rob,
to build your
Rob,
deck,
Rob.
and
Your issues
But-
can come
I know.
after.
but okay,
Rob,
all right, all
shut
right,
it down.
all right.
This is the game.
It's
where
actually a really good game. It's a good combination of a miniature game and deck building.
That's the game where you basically pick like a class. Because I kind of did a little bit of reading on it. It looked really interesting. You pick like a warlock. You pick a wizard, a
you get
priestess.
one of
Don't
4
trust
classes.
warlocks.
Yeah.
You get one of 4 classes.
Yeah.
Especially ones with blue colors.
If you go to the Mage Wars website, they give you a deck based off of the cards that you
Yeah.
have in the thing.
They're gypsies.
That whole box can play all 4 decks. It's just like the construction of like the decks top Magic cards. Like you go,
Really?
yeah, like instead of like a 60 card deck in Magic or like a 40 card deck in Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever card fight is, or the 50 card deck in Naruto.
Yeah.
It's like almost EDH size in them.
So it's
100 cards.
Holy crap.
Well, yeah, it's almost 100 cards.
Um,
It's really
Too many
high.
cards.
I can see why this deck this game was on the best board game list for 2013 because it does have a lot of intricate things to it, but it's also pretty easy to pick up and learn. Like, you can read the rule books and go through with the rule book beside you and play it. I've seen it played and demoed in the store, and it really was really easy for two people to play. There's different variations, and I stuttered real mean.
And that was me.
The
I'm the one that demoed it.
the best board game on there, realistically speaking,
None of them.
I don't know which one's gonna win because,
Mage Wars.
right?
That's my guess.
From what I've seen from like the reviews and stuff of the games, I think Hot Rod Crease might be a real close runner to it because it's really innovative.
Yeah, but I haven't in all of the reviews, like everybody has been like just eating up Mage Wars.
It's also because Mage Wars, the minute they came out the gates running and they came out with expansion after expansion. They're on expansion number 4 now.
No, number 2.
Is it 2?
They
Two
have-
already
they have-
released.
you have-
Two
you
already
have-
released. And they're
Shut
You have the
innovative.
core set. There's a core set that's out.
Yeah.
Then they came out with a core set supplement,
Yeah.
which comes with the exact same cards that are in the core set. Then there's another expansion that's out, which is like Beastmaster versus something else.
Yeah.
And then there's probably another expansion on the works. I kind of have
Probably.
paid too
With the
much
success of the
attention
game, they're really supporting it. And I think that's what's going to drive the awards.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, Peanut Gallery.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
You asked us which game we're on.
We're still on Mage Wars.
Okay. So now we're going to switch it over to Andrew to discuss. He's gonna- Andrew Noseworthy with Best Collectible Card Game nominees.
Alrighty. So, first we have, well, I don't know why it says best collectible card game, because it's giving sets. So I guess it's what sold the best.
I think they went off of that game's release for 2012,
That makes sense.
right? So they
Okay.
compared those releases and how those
Alright.
releases stacked up.
So, first we have Cardfight Vanguard and the Breaker Limits. Wow.
Limits?
Set.
Limits.
Best game.
This, we had to restock like, I don't know, what was it, like 4 times
We went through,
the day of,
we went through over 100 boxes on the first day.
and there was like weeks and weeks and months that we just had to keep restocking every single week.
This set also defined the Canadian regionals, nationals, and even defined worlds. Even though it had 5 sets preceding it, its release, it was the first simultaneous release with Japan that we ever had in Canada, and it's still defining one of the top decks in the format.
Still good.
Yep, and it's still defining the cards that you get in there are really, really good for the decks that you get. I would have to say, out of all of the sets, it is the most successul set Bushiroad has seen. Bushiroad is the creative Cardfight Vanguard.
Next is set 5.
Yeah, next to Set 5.
Yeah.
Set 5 came out in 2013 for Canada, and it's doing just as well. But I would have to say for a Canadian release in 2012, I haven't seen a game do that well.
I've seen customers come in and they just purchase
Box.
Breakers or Limits when they first get in to the game. So I mean,
Yeah, they'll come in and people will buy it by the packs. Like, they don't get 2 packs, they'll get 10 packs.
yeah.
Right?
Or
Because they know,
boxes.
or boxes. All right, I've seen people get cases of it when they start the game and such as well. Overall, hands down, I don't know if anybody else is going to disagree with me on this. I agree with this being on the list because it's a great release for Bushiroad, and they really need some props from all other gaming companies and stores for what they've done with this game. It's the first game in a long time to come out and not Upper Deck.
They're really rushing most of the expansions, but I mean that's topic for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Cardfight Vanguard.
next up, I do not know why
Judo!
this is on this list. Kaijudo Rise of the Duel Masters.
It's on this list because it was hyped up so much. Oh my gosh, Duel Masters is coming back. Yeah.
Oh, it is Duel Masters.
I know.
Yeah.
And then this came out. Everybody's like, yeah, nobody cares now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean like Duel
No,
Masters
no,
was a good-
nobody cares.
Straight up.
Duel Masters
Straight up.
was a
Nobody cares.
Straight up, no one cares.
The set came out.
Stop.
People were like, oh my god, I'm going to play.
Alright.
It came out.
Alright.
Nobody bought shit.
Alright.
On the next one.
Because it was just like the same thing.
Legend of the Five Rings. People,
Why is this game still being played?
I was gonna say, people still play this?
If you play this game, play a real TCG. Next topic.
Actually, my sister found a couple of the cards, and she had like a box full of like Legends of the Five Rings stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I could take this and sell this to someone. However, I forgot
Goes
the
to how much
cards.
you want to play.
I forgot the cards, so
Yay.
I gotta get them, and I will sell them.
So whoever wants Legends of the Five
Whoever
Ring
wants
cards.
them, yeah, whoever wants Legends of the Five Rings.
Hop on Kijiji, type in Tristan Murphy. You'll see him there. That face.
Alright.
I still don't get why this.
All right.
Is a
I
game.
don't mean
This
World of
was
Warcraft.
a
War of the
surprise on
Ancients.
this list for me. World of Warcraft TCG has been suspected to be dead or suspected to be not carried by a lot of companies because it hasn't been successful in the past couple of years. But with the launch of this set, it really has upsurged the popularity of this game. War of the Ancients capitalized back into the origins of World of Warcraft universe. So they talk about the first major event in Azeroth, and and you get to see a lot of the classic characters before they become the like massively epic characters that they are now in the game. So players who play the game that really like the lore of WoW really was attracted to it. It got a lot of new players into the game. For us, this set took our community from a minimum of 4 people to 13 to 14, and sales wise just shot it through the roof. It made it more appealing. The cards were more eye-catching to it, and the mechanics really mirror other TCGs that it's like, and really drive the success of the game.
Magic.
Cryptozoic, once again, it's another Cryptozoic game like Hot Rod Creeps, and they should be really proud of this release because they've done a real good.
Because they took it from a poop company called Upper Deck and made it good.
Because
Yeah,
Upper Deck
it's-
with it.
I would have to say it's Cryptozoic's best release in the 3 to 4 years they've had the WoW name, and they've really made it their own. They've really made the mechanics, and they've really taken the game out of the gutter and made it shine. Which, so I really agree with this. Does anybody else attest to it?
No, I'm good.
All right.
So I know.
Yeah.
I played most of these games, like, except for Legend of the Five Rings.
Ain't nobody got time to play that game.
Exactly. And World of Warcraft
Really?
is one of those games that like
It's like
you
a
get,
really long game.
you get the dips, but then you also get like the high rises of people who just want to come back to the game, whether or not it's income issues or what have you. But the game is actually really fun, and I can
Now
attest
we've
to
got Justin with the weather.
Okay, first of all, we forgot one.
Well, we're not done yet.
Justin.
Sun gonna shine.
it. Got you there.
Thank you, Justin.
All right.
So, the last one on this category is Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle Pack.
Justin, this pack got you back into the game for a little bit, to the point where you bought a couple boxes of it.
Yeah.
Now, what from that, as a player that doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Very often and such like that, what about it made you so attracted to getting back into the game that I know you hate?
Well, that's bias.
Well, that's not a hidden agenda at all. Got it.
There was a lot of good cards in the set that weren't really accessible before.
Tour guide.
So
Oh, is it one of those reprint sets?
It was it was the most prominent reprint set to come out. It made it so it was like you could build a deck from that set.
Put it this way, it was like, what, $120 card reprinted in here.
Reprinted
That
down
made
to
it
at least
$10.
Which card is this?
Tour guide.
Oh, tour
It
guide.
was
Now
Tour Guide's
it's
first
at
reprinting.
20.
Tour guide's not 20.
Well, the secret one's still at like $50
Oh, yeah.
ish, but I mean like.
And like, also, this had a reprint of Forbidden Lance, which now is a $20 common, because Battle Pack is sold out everywhere.
Yeah, it's one of those packs that when it came out was really, really popular, really high volume, but it kept selling out. They kept having to print it. They kept having to send it. They actually had to send directly from Konami to stores 100-pack supplements just to keep up with it. That made it so difficult. There was a draft format that innovated it as well. You could now
But
draft
no
in
store
Yu-Gi-Oh!
could run it because
You didn't have any
didn't
packs
have any
to do
packs.
it. Yeah, that's the one thing. Now it's just really expensive to bring in, and everything else has been reprinted like a million times.
But
Well, except
Petty
for
Me
that
still
Forbidden
has
Lands,
the
I don't
Battle
see
Pack box set.
And the sealed battle pack, that thing.
Yeah. Comes with a mat and 10
I can get them
packs.
to do it.
Right.
$22.95.
Wait a minute.
Come
We have an
on,
imposter.
Oh.
He's really Teddying me
Oh no.
with a Raging Cajun tattoo.
It's just a red shirt. Come on.
Oh no. What is he doing?
Anyways.
Goodbye, horses. Alright,
Anyways.
Alright. So,
Be
next,
with you later.
Hot topic?
we're going to get into best traditional card game. Now, with that, I think they took deck building games
So
in
why
consideration
is
with
an
TC.
Ascension on this list?
I believe Ascension was nominated for its first expansion, which was Chronicle of Godslayer, but since then, it hasn't really stacked up to the other ones that innovated that came out.
Better than some of the games on here.
Right. I know 3 of the games on here.
Punch you.
I'm going to start. Tristan,
hey,
from
hold
what you know about the Doctor Who card game.
Hold on. Tree Frog.
Ba 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 Ba-ba-da. That's all I got. I mean,
All right,
it's Doctor Who. Who
is
doesn't
it?
love Doctor Who? I know people who've seen the show and they're like, oh yeah, I'll watch it every time now and again. But I mean, that's all I can really base off this. I've never played the game. I've
So
done
much for being a Doctor
very.
Who fan.
Punch you.
I know.
Oh, shit. Look at him like a man.
Intended to do it. I'll
Like
punch you.
you saw that, man. You saw just like I'll punch you.
Judge.
I'ma beat you.
What? You threaten everybody on this show every single week.
I'm gonna stick my son a screwdriver in your ass.
Chop it up with my lightsaber.
Anyways,
Okay.
I've never played this game. I've done very minimal research on it, but I mean, it does look like one of those deck building games. That you do
Just
say.
stop. Just stop.
Actually,
All right.
Next game.
I actually haven't heard anything good about this game.
Really?
I don't know if this. I might be wrong. I might be.
This
might have been a
is
different
why I
game.
think it's
Rob.
got on
You
here.
know why? It's Doctor Who.
Doctor Who's. Awesome.
I haven't heard good things about this game, but
So should
it's
the
sold
game then.
really well. Everywhere
its
that got it,
license.
It's like
they
the Star
can't get
Trek
any
game.
more. It's out of print. It's sold out. But it's sold on the name, and that's why it's on here.
Yeah.
The name Doctor Who. You say Doctor Who, and people are just kind of like Doctor Who, and they're like cards. Like I play cards, and that's what happens.
I'm pretty sure that's not how I sound.
Right? Well, you don't own the game,
That's true.
Quack.
right? Next up is one that none of us are stranger to: Legendary by
Yeah, I've
Marvel.
never played this game before.
By Marvel?
Never.
It's by Upper Deck.
By Upper
sir.
Deck, but I don't want to mention them. Hire me, by the way.
I've never legitimately played this game. So
Good for
guys
you.
know. Thank
Don't
you.
do it.
Justin, why do you think this is on here?
Because people are dumb.
You like the game,
Upper Deck paid
Yeah, I
a
think it's a
lot
pretty-
of money.
I was the one that voted for DC. Thank you very much.
but you still like the game.
It takes too long.
Okay, Justin.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game, but
You
I
don't
also
think
like
it's
his
that
point. It
bad.
does take time, and also Upper Deck.
Upper Deck.
and Upper Deck.
I think it got on here because of its innovation of the lineup style deck building game, to be honest.
3 words. Superhero Squad.
And on to the next one. Lock and Key by Cryptozoic. I've never heard of this game.
Never heard of
I
it.
think this is based off the comic book.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if this was based on.
Not gonna lie, Cryptozoic usually grabs licensed names to base their games off of.
Grabs.
Grab. I.e. steal.
I'm pretty sure they
Pay
buy,
money.
They buy it with money.
But I'm pretty sure this is based on the comic book.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it. I've never.
I've never read the
Skipped
comic
over
book.
this
I've never
one.
seen the game.
So, on to
Next
the next one.
On to the next one.
Yep.
This was a huge surprise to my liking. I saw Penny Arcade's 2012 release of Rumble and Riley. Well, no. Riley? The Penny Arcade deck building game is a very significantly underlooked deck building game. It's an incredible play. I recommend it to anybody. It also just released with an iOS app over Christmas.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, the game is very well done. The iOS app is really well done. It's easy to play, easy to learn, and very quick and easy play. I'm really glad to see Rumble and Relay
Yeah.
here. Out of all of the Cryptozoa games on here, I'm most proud to see that one on there because I'm excited for it to get some notice and get some recognition for how great they made this game. Because even Penny Arcade, the website, doesn't promote it as much as they should. Right?
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't really think they promote any of this
Anything.
stuff.
They don't.
The only thing they push is PAX. It's like, hey, guess what? We got a convention. Okay, done.
Speaking of which, PAX East was the.
Yeah,
Just
PAX
passed.
East was just passed.
That's where a lot of big announcements from the gaming companies happen. So
Games.
next up, this is a big category for Tristan.
I love this game.
Smash Up!
Oh my god.
We've also done a Board Game Guy Express on this one.
I've spent 2 weeks playing this game. Actually, okay, that's not fair because I actually bought it on Friday. But
I've spent 5 days playing this game.
5 days. Yes, 5 days. I played it with everyone, and all of
Play
my
with me.
friends have said, "I'm sorry,
Don't play with me.
Or me.
that's later."
Play with you?
No.
I haven't gotten to you guys yet. Jesus.
What sorcery is this?
Everyone
What
I've played
kind
it
of
with
sorcery?
has said that this game is great, and they would play this game again. I played at least 5 games with each person that I've played it with, and we've done because you've seen the Express. It's basically 2 20-card decks. You put them together, shuffle it together, and you play. That's what's amazing about this game is that it's very simplistic, and all of the factions are stuff that like people like. In the recent expansion that they've released is. They've released the Bear Cavalry, plants, steampunk, and ghosts. There's one more. I can't think of.
Nobody
He's
cares.
drawing boobs. But with this release of the expansion, I expect to see more from AEG. This game is fantastic, and I do see why it's actually on here. Again, I'm just looking forward to more expansions from this game because there's so many factions that you can actually add to this. I mean, one of them could have been, I don't know, Space Rangers. Yeah, Space Rangers. Being ignored. Next.
Isn't there a championship for this game?
Yes, you did tell me about this.
I heard something.
Yeah, I'll
Did you
probably
look into it?
I didn't look into it at all.
Game of Thrones.
I'm sorry, I was busy. I was busy
I was
playing
too
Smash
busy
Up.
playing to look into it.
And next, I promise to play with you guys afterwards.
Don't want to play.
Nice.
Yeah. Since we're the last on the list.
You technically you're third.
Best family, party, or children's game. Catan Jr. What do I have to say about Catan Jr.?
It's Catan
But for little kids.
for kids.
And pirates.
Escape, The Curse of the Temple. What do I have to say about that? It's by Queen Games.
Don't know anything about it.
10 minutes.
Why is there a game called Love Letter for children?
It's by AEG.
That's where you own that game.
I own that game?
Yeah, Escape.
Or is it
No,
this pile of games
I
we
was
have
given
to
it and they're
buy?
like, play. I was like, ah!
You should play it then. And then go, ah!
Actually, I've seen the game played out. It's a very quick and easy game to learn. It's all constant dice rolling. Everybody's rolling dice for 10 minutes and then somebody wins.
So in other words, it's a game we're all gonna love because we all talk.
He's
about
gonna rip
it.
something.
We love the game.
Love Letter. It's a love letter. If you get in trouble
why
with your
is there a
lady,
game called Love Letter for
because
children?
kids fall in love too.
I understand, but come on.
The category is family, party, or children's game.
I understand.
So, I mean, you're not going to put, like, death metal zombies from Vegas on this list.
Why not?
If it did exist.
That actually sounds like
That ain't no
Guys,
family game.
game idea.
Families watch Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, like, we all know how good the Walking Dead game is.
Okay, hold on, wait. Once
Yeah,
Upon
that
a
was-
Time. Next on the list is Once Upon a Time, 3rd edition.
Never heard of it.
If it's 3rd edition, we don't care. All right, next up, Courier's the dice building game. This
Hold on. Backtrack for a second. That means it took you 3 times to get it right.
think about that at home when you're watching the episode. If you're creating this game 3 times, Justin. 3.
Times.
3?
Times.
One of those times.
3 times.
Timos.
1 time.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay. Next up, Couriers. This game really came out of the gate swinging, even though it came a little bit late because it was by WizKids. But
Upper Deck.
overall, it was innovative. It was.
Are you sure all the employees from Upper Deck didn't just go work with...
There's 3 employees for WizKids, so they only have 3 employees working for them.
Are you sure they weren't from Upper Deck?
Well, they could be.
No, actually, I think they're from the original WizKids.
Well, there's your problem.
Hire more staff. But Couriers,
There's a reason
very
to go with
innovative.
that, bro.
I've heard nothing but good about this game. I've heard nothing but good things about the gameplay. It's a deck building game with dice.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Why don't we sell it?
We do. We have it right over there.
I understand. It's
means
right
why
there.
doesn't it
Why don't
sell?
people buy it?
We've sold 2 copies.
Since when?
Over Christmas is because we had demos running. And
How
then
long ago was that?
Christmas was about 5 months ago.
Have we sold anything since then?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not as great as anybody thinks it is.
I would actually.
Revising my statement.
The game.
I would actually
I-
like to play this game.
I've played this game actually, and it's actually really good. It's you build
Who else bought it?
you build your dice pile from set dice, so it's not like every other conventional deck building game, and then you just roll from that. But it's very simple, and that's it. It's very fun. Phallic symbol. Oh my god, what is it with you guys and phallic symbols every time I talk?
What phallic symbols?
I'm sitting here.
There is
looking at
no
the sheets, sir.
phallic symbols on any of these sheets.
Up next, we have best gaming accessories, which this whole category doesn't make sense to me. Why
Yes.
some of this stuff is on here. Okay, Castle Panic, the Wizard's Tower. It's not an accessory. It's an expansion. Accessory is dungeon tiles, dice set, miniatures, and more dice.
So, okay, in case you were wondering what he was talking about, You've got Dungeon Tiles, Castle Grimstead, Metal Steampunk Dice Set, Pathfinder Battles Miniatures Rise of the Rune Lord, and Pathfinder Serpent Skull Dice Set.
I think he is the new host.
The only thing that's missing from there is
A dice tray?
the dice tray.
And the only thing that doesn't really make sense on here is Castle Panic.
That
That's
being
an
said, though, I think Castle Panic's gonna win because it was the best one on there.
Because it's
Right.
not part of...
I don't
Okay.
know, man. That metal steampunk dice set
But-
looks pretty cool.
On that
skull dice set.
closing note of these
Serpent
categories, the winners of this award will be announced June 15 at the Origins Convention. Best of luck to all the companies. Try out any of these games because you know what? They've got recommendations, they've got decorations, and they've got nominations. All right. So
And they got salutations!
For good games, go to www.fantasyflightgames.com.
right. So now,
Don't leave my sheet! It's got my advertising on it.
all right. So now
Gotta get it out there.
we got the next segment in our show. Stay tuned next week as we talk about our issues with board gaming. See you next time, guys.
Mainly bitch. I ain't picking it up.